for eminywizard.com and marketwizards.com. Playing ping pong, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. It is about 20 after 11, 26th of February. We've looked at a number of different charts, a number of different ideas. Said more than likely we've got some whack-a-mole. Advise traders to make sure you are paid by 02. And if you're using the ideas that we've talked about today, you probably have your VIG already and you need to be conservative. We said we think it's whack-a-mole, meaning we're bounces, we can hit bounces, but think perhaps that the low is already in. So far, that has helped us keep our minds thinking small rotations. And this is a 456 bounce back from the low to the 02.5 zone. So anybody long, make sure you are paid by this 02. And this is what we had said yesterday should be our reasonable resistance. That worked for a new low, and that becomes a target for the longs to dislodge. And who knows, but that's the game. Now they're trying to push back and say, get out of my territory. So this 05, we said, was the breakdown zone. Before you worry about 05, you got to get past the 02s. So this was the breakdown, and anybody wants to short, reminder, the intraday range has been up. So we've said probably buy pullbacks until the low goes. So this 88 we had as aggressive, 87.5, 88 aggressive support is still intact. And I'm again going to remind the longs, don't get too complacent here. And here's your NQ. We said paid for sure by 05. Guess what? Totally erased any gains that the shorts had. Longs know how to play this game and knock out stops. That's their game. Looks like it's going to plunge and never stop. And yet we ricochet and come right back up and take out the highs. These highs just above us in that 42 area are going to be pretty important. We get above that, then it's another story. Then you can run a bit more. That's the breakdown right there. So that's still resistance for now. And here's our 15-minute chart. Just shakes out, traps late shorts, and then squeezing them yet again. It's 87, 88. Pretty important support for now. Until that breaks, that's in control. And note these higher higher lows. Whack-a-mole is higher lows, higher highs. Very tough when the bots do this in a solid 15-minute bar. Down and right back up. This is protected right now. And here's our 30-minute chart that we talked about, supportive. Two-way day. And we have been thinking neutrally, still are. You can take trades from either side when they get to logical profit-taking locations. And if you're wrong, take your stop. News trading is much harder because you can get these fast swings. That's in a 2-day swing and range type trading, all we know. So you want to pay attention to break areas that break. And then once you get above them, then you're looking for the resistance highs. If this high gets broken in a setup, then the next high up here is available at 71.60. So for now, this area is resistance, this 57 to 60 area. And before that, obviously, you got to take out this high right here, because that was the break yesterday, and this is the retest up there. Not quite fulfilled that yet. So trying to show a couple of traders how you can easily use this for obviously anything you want. Doesn't have to be just E-mini. We teach through the E-mini, but because of continuity, it's easier that way. But certainly you can apply this. And I will tell you, I have found that the NASDAQ also works very well. So for you traders that want to set them up, you just save a workspace and then go to it. Depending on what sometimes you're going to get a divergence and one's going to be moving, the other's stagnant. So trade the one you want if your mind is flexible enough to do that. If you want to do a 3-day range, you can see where we pulled back the bottom of the pipe and we have bounced. So the sky's the limit for how you want to analyze a market and say who's in control, who isn't. There's always going to be a question mark. No matter what type of analysis you use, you're always going to have a question. There's never going to be anything that's 100% secure and safe. So the question is, which ones can you find that you have the highest level of confidence in? What type trades? And get good at finding just a couple of decent trades a day and try to get your vig and get out of the way. That's the way I like to teach traders about this business. And here's those of you who like the order flow, the volume profile. You can see areas that have previously attracted attention within a few points. And areas of support. And again, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just trying to help show, especially the newer traders, how you can try to understand your opponent as well, because these are charts that some traders are looking at. And you want to find the areas of commonality, areas that make the sense for you. And we want to take a look and see. So for something that I'm much more familiar with, I'm going to look at areas like this and say, okay, I get that. I get this. That makes sense. Anything below this 81.5, 82 support that we had called, I get that. I can see it on other charts, but I can see it on this one too. And areas like this that we talked about, I think this 92 is going to be our pivot, right? That was our chosen pivot. And it shows up here. But we already know that just by our system and the ideas that we like. Okay, here's an area that longs really need to get it above now to get back into this territory. I guess this would be a low volume node, I would assume. Some of those traders would call that. And we already know that based on the breakdown. That gets beat. We already said, okay, then I guess that 08 area can get tackled. So we find this helpful, but in truth, there's nothing that is sacred. It's just something that you see and that works for you. That's what it's all about, exploring a lot of different ideas until you say, this is one I can I can really use and work on. I said this morning that I thought we needed to be careful about thinking too much short side. That's 20 points off of the low, 275 to 3. Anybody long side paid for sure. We said traders think about using the 02 to 05 as a resistance zone. Make sure you're paid. And if shorts, you want to try it. Should have some profits from today that you're willing to risk. If not, why bother? Or unless you haven't traded at all. And use that zone and try to scalp short side a couple of points. Primary trade may or may not be over. We usually go until about 11:45 to 12 o'clock, thinking that's the primary. And I would be very conservative up here in this territory, thinking any new longs or certainly no new add-ons up here. I hope this helped you guys. We're going to take a break. We're going to see you in the Slack room a little bit later. And for sure, that big idea we had of make sure you don't overstay here, because I think that support, that has worked. Doesn't matter what chart you look at, that has shown up. And this chart, we said, should be the flipper right here, 275. So make sure you are paid coming into that location above it. Good fortune. All right, guys. Hope you had a good morning.